microelectrical mechanical system. Okay, it is based on semiconductor materials, primarily silicon. Okay, what else? Also, these are silicon wafer for computer chip devices. When you try to make a chip, what is a chip? What is the meaning in computer science? What is the meaning in electronic fabrication? 芯片. Very good. But 芯片, what is the chip based on? The chip material is starting with silicon wafer. Okay, so it started with silicon wafer. 所有的芯片最基本的一道工序都是从硅晶圆的制作开始的。Okay, so this silicon is a fundamental material in semiconductors. Okay, now as a summary, we do have 6 major classes of material. For example, metals, ceramics. Then we have several examples. In metals, we have iron and steel, right? We do have alloys and superalloys. For example, those alloys are nickel-based alloys used in aerospace applications. Okay, alloys. When you add another element into one metal, is called an alloy. Okay, alloy is 2 or more mixture of metals. Okay, now also we have intermetallic compound. Intermetallic compound is a different compound. It exhibits the features of metals. These intermetallic compounds are high structural materials. Okay, now examples for ceramics can be structural ceramics. Okay, just like the brick and the building material that you typically see. Okay, those are ceramics. And refractories. Now what are refractories? This word looks familiar, but actually refractories means very high temperature material. You just cannot easily melt it. So refractories. Whitewares, your pursuits, that your bowls or plate, glasses, electrical ceramics, and also chemically bonded ceramics. These are examples of ceramics. And polymers, we do have, when we talk about polymers, always remember we have plastics and we have rubber. These are 2 different things, plastics and rubber. 什么叫 plastic and rubber? 塑料和橡胶. Okay, so polymers, the examples of polymers can be plastics and rubber, and also liquid crystal. What is liquid crystal? Okay, and adhesives. What are adhesives? Adhesive means glue. You want to adhere one thing to another thing. You need to use certain glue to join 2 parts together. Okay, adhesives. And electronic materials such as semiconductor like silicon, germanium, and also this 3 and 5 compounds like gallium arsenide. When I say 3 and 5, means what? The column 3 and column 5 in your periodic table of elements. Okay, photonic materials such as LEDs and solid-state lasers. Okay, what is LED? Light emission diode, 发光二极管. Okay, so composite material, like when you make a composite material, we know composite material is a combination of matrix and reinforcement, right? Now, we can choose different types of reinforcement. It can be a long fiber. It can be a very small particle. It can be a different shape. So based on this kind of a reinforcement, we can classify composite material as particulate composite. Okay, such as small particles embedded in a different material. Okay, or laminate composite. Laminate means a big plate. So golf club shafts, tennis rackets, and also this Damascus sword. 这是什么东西啊？大家听说的大马士革那种剑吗？ Okay, that's a typical composite material with a laminate reinforcement. And fiber reinforced composites, such as fiberglass. Then based on these 5 types, we can, recently people always to add another category of materials, like biomaterials. This is also a very, very hot topic. It spends a lot of research funding in the world, okay? So biomaterials. What's biomaterials? Anything related to life or to medical services, okay? So actually, biomaterials can overlap with the previous 5 metals: ceramic, polymers, semiconductors, and composites. Okay, but in addition to the previous 5 categories, biomaterials is biomimetic because it has to serve certain function of human life. Okay, so it can be, for example, examples of biomaterials can be man-made proteins. Okay, it can be biosensors or drug delivery fluids or colloids. Okay, so these are polymer-based. Some are like gold nanoparticle stabilized some metals, and also these are also polymeric materials. Okay, so here are the 6 major classes of materials. Now, in order to know what kind of material are the best candidate for your application, you have to be very familiar with this kind of a periodic table of elements. Okay, now this is something we need to talk about in our first chapter. So, after that, we divide material based on its feature. Metals, ceramics, polymers, semiconductor, composite materials, biomaterials. We can also classify materials based on their properties. So, as an alternative to major classes, you may divide material into classification according to properties. You can have a different way to classify materials. Okay, such as we can divide material into different materials, different properties. One goal of materials engineering is to select material with suitable properties for a given application. So this kind of a classification makes sense. Okay, so for example, we can divide material into satisfactory mechanical properties. Now, what are mechanical properties include? These mechanical properties include elasticity and stiffness, plasticity, strength, brittleness, and toughness, fatigue. These are all mechanical properties. 我在下个这个题啊，我们说什么叫 elasticity？ 不知道。When you stretch material, it's gonna come back. 你拉伸一个材料的时候，你松手，它回来了。说这么通俗了，是什么意思啊？不是韧性，是叫做弹性。如果没有超过材料的屈服点弹性极限的时候，或者说比例极限，那它就是在它的弹性去，这是 elasticity。Stiffness 我们叫材料的刚度。那么 plasticity 什么意思啊？材料的塑性。什么叫塑性啊？超过了弹性极限，我们开始屈服，屈服完了呢，变成永久的变形，叫做塑性变形，对吧？学过没学过啊？没这么。什么叫 strength？ 材料的强度。什么叫材料强度啊？当你做一个拉伸曲线的时候，那个最高点我们叫做材料强度，是不是？抗拉强度。Brittleness and toughness。什么叫 brittleness？ 脆性。我们这个叫做韧性。什么叫 fatigue？ 也不知道。这疲劳，这都是 mechanical property。先休息一会儿。